gigantic 8-foot tall man ass whooping, and I ain't trying to have that on my life. But anyway, I eventually do walk up to Seal, and I tell him, I'm like, hey, I just want to say I'm a big fan of your music, and and he's like, yo man, I'm trying to have dinner with my sons. I'm like, yeah, I understand. And I start to walk away. Once he told me, he's like, hey, I'm trying to, just hang out with my kids and stuff, because Seal's divorced, so his time with his kids is important to him and shit, So I'm like, all right, cool. Start walking away. And Seal's like, sir. And I turn around. He's like, hey, come back, sir. My son says it's okay for you to take a picture with me. That is an example of the time that I used tact. And whether or not I got a picture with Seal, it would not have bothered me at all. The fact that I got to meet him was cool enough. But the fact that I was just like, you know what? I was polite. I was nice. When he basically was like, yo, I'm just trying to just chill and, be low key and stuff, I started to walk away, and he was like, you know what? This dude ain't flip out. And cause I'm almost positive that he's had people flip the fuck out on him and act a fucking fool because he didn't want to take a picture with him, which is his prerogative. But I had enough tact to be like, yeah, you know what? You are taking a picture. You are having dinner with your sons and stuff. I don't want to fucking bother you. I walked away, and it worked out in my favor. A lot of people need to choose their own adventures like that, and shit might work out for you. It may not either, but at the same time, no one owes you anything in this world. Again, I'll use myself as an example from that statement that no one owes you anything. You can ask me anything you want. It's very hard to offend me. It's impossible to embarrass me. You can't embarrass the shameless, but like you can ask if you have a question for me, go ahead, ask that shit. However, that said, you can ask me anything. I don't have to answer shit. That's in all levels of my life. No matter on the list of people of priority in my life, from the top all the way down, you can ask me any question. I ain't gotta answer you shit. Here's an example of that. Back when I was in college, when I was in undergrad, I went home to visit, and one of my aunts had asked, how was I doing in school? I'm like, I'm doing great. School's going good. And then my mom interjected and said, well, I ain't seen no grades. To which I said, I ain't seen no tuition. Now, some of y'all probably got all, oh, you said that to your mom? You goddamn right I said that shit to my mom, because you know what? I'm not like you that think that just because somebody pushed me out that I owe them anything else. That's how life goes. People give birth, and then people grow up. I'm more like a turtle. Why would I say that? I'm more like a turtle because turtles don't really raise their own children or whatnot. Not to say that my mom didn't raise me anything like that, but at the same time, I don't owe her anything. Once I became an adult, I'm an adult now. And I became an adult very fucking fast. And I paid for my own college and stuff. So me being the one paying for my college, I don't answer to anybody. Now, if she was paying some of my tuition and shit, yeah, I guess I could show her some grades. But, and I could tell you how much my college cost in total and how much I paid for and shit. But you know what? Her total, no matter how much I told you, her total is still the same, which is 0. So I don't owe her shit. You can ask me about my grades. I ain't got to give them to you because you didn't contribute. Be tactful about that shit, because I'm the type of motherfucker that if you say something, I'm going to clap back fast. My wit is lightning fucking fast. People get offended at how fast I am when it comes to my comebacks. They're not offended by the comeback. They're just sometimes offended that they're not as intelligent as me. Happens a lot. Anyhoodle, pick your fucking battles. Know who you're dealing with. Know who you're dealing with comes from one of my favorite books called 48 Laws of Power. I think it was law number 19. Know who you're dealing with. Because sometimes people fuck around with people that they don't know what the fuck is up. Happens all the time. Funny story about that shit. I was coming home from work one night, it's a couple weeks ago, and I was taking the subway home. LA has subways. And there was this dude talking shit to everybody on the fucking platform. This is before the train ad came. He's talking shit to everybody on the platform. he decided he was gonna pick a fight with the biggest motherfucker there, and he swung on this dude, and then this dude did something that I had only seen in movies and cartoons, and this motherfucker caught his punch mid-swing. At that point, I turned my fucking headphones off because I gotta see how this shit's about to play off. This dude caught the fucking punch, and you think that this motherfucker would just back the fuck off and just go about his business and shit after his punch got caught? Nah, he decided to try to go with the other hand, and after this motherfucker caught his punch, this dude straight washed this motherfucker at the train station. I saw this dude get his ass whiz-upped. And then the train came and we all went home. This dude didn't know who the fuck he was dealing with. You can't go around picking fights with motherfuckers. And I'm not saying don't go around picking fights with motherfuckers you don't know. No, I'm saying don't go around picking fights with motherfuckers. You ain't supposed to be out here fighting. You a grown-ass motherfucking man. Or woman, or whatever you want to identify with. You ain't supposed to be out here fighting nobody in the streets. If you fight motherfuckers in the streets, then you gonna have a rough fucking time because you going to jail. But I mean, when and if you get caught. But yeah, you can't be out here fighting motherfuckers. If you fight motherfuckers in the streets, that means everything in life has failed you. And you failed everything at life. Now, knowing who you're dealing with is just an important trait to know from childhood. Because it's extremely important to have tact in knowing who the fuck you're dealing with. Because some people are information gatherers. What do I mean by that? Well, I learned this from one of my mentors in college, that like whenever you're doing business with anybody, get as much information on that person as possible. Do your due diligence, do some research, learn the good, learn the bad. That way, if anything falls south, you have some fucking leverage to help you the fuck out. This shit happens all the goddamn time. This shit is happening right now in the White House, actually. Because Big Orange didn't sign his own non-disclosure agreement. So now that shit is it's funny. If you guys watch the news, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I try not to make this show political. Try not to talk about Big Orange like that. I don't even say his fucking name. I call him Big Orange. But yeah, being tactful is knowing who the fuck you dealing with. Knowing how to deal with those people. And also the most important thing, knowing how to communicate with people. Knowing how to communicate with people is not only a skill, it is an art. And in order to get better at that art, you have to practice at it. Knowing how people communicate is extremely essential and important in your life because everybody communicates differently. Outside of this show, outside of like any of my entertainment life or anything like that, I don't talk a lot. It's not that I'm like a quiet or shy person. I'm not. It's just I just don't talk a lot. You know, there's no real explanation to that. I much rather listen. That don't mean just barrage me with a whole lot of bullshit that I probably won't care about. But it's just I like to listen more than I like to talk. I have 2 ears and I have 1 mouth. I can listen twice as much. Which is funny if you guys know me in real life that I'm deaf in 1 ear. But yeah, so. But I do like to listen to people. I like to listen, and I listen with intent to understand. There's a big difference between listening to understand and listening to respond. Some people straight up have conversations and they wait for their fucking turn to talk. And it's one of the most annoying fucking things ever. I'm trying to find out what the hell is going on in the ocean right now. My co-pilot here is pointing at the ocean. And I don't know if that's a boat or a whale or a shark or something. That's a truck now. Okay, it's a boat? Okay, cool. It's a boat. Cool. Pointing the boats to black people is kind of crazy and scary at the same time. But, yeah, pointing at boats to black people is kind of scary. Because, you know, the last time somebody pointed a boat out to us, things didn't work out that well. But, and here we are. But anyway, knowing how to deal with people, knowing how people communicate. Now, I don't talk a lot, but I do listen with the intent to understand. Some people listen with the intent to respond. And a lot of times you're not taking in what you're supposed to be hearing, and you're going to respond and sound really fucked up. You know who listens with the intent to respond? White people. I said it. It's my fucking show. Come get me. Anyway, white people, if you don't understand what I'm saying, go watch any Fox News interview. These motherfuckers are not trying to understand where motherfuckers are coming from. This is why I'm telling all the black people right now, it is time for us to stop talking to white people about racism. Because they ain't trying to hear that shit. They trying to tell you how, ain't no racism because we elected a black president, or they talking about how Italians got it too, which is nonsensical. The whole game of white supremacy is to fucking deny, delay, and fucking confuse the shit out of you with words. Stop trying to talk to these motherfuckers about that shit, because all you trying to do, honestly, is trying to get them to admit that racism is a thing. They fucking know it. You don't have to get the motherfucker who farted in a room full of people to admit that he farted in a room full of people. He knows what the fuck happened. Just let everybody know that this motherfucker stank. That's it. I have the greatest fucking metaphors in the world, by the way, and I'm gonna just give y'all time to laugh at that shit, because that was fucking funny to me. Now, but, again, and just to drive the point home, being tactful is an extremely essential thing, and you guys need to learn how to do. The best way to learn how to be tactful is to just have conversations with different people. And when I say have conversations with them, ask open-ended questions and listen to what they're saying. Listen to what they're saying and digest it. Don't try to project your life into what they're doing, because everybody has a different experience. Just because you like mint chocolate chip and somebody like me doesn't like mint chocolate chip, that doesn't mean I don't like you because you like mint chocolate chip. No, I don't like that shit, and you're more than welcome to like it. It's twice as much for you now because I don't like something that you don't like. That doesn't make me a bad person, Some women like anal sex. Some women don't. That doesn't make the people who do or don't bad people. Yeah, we went there on this show. Again, it's my fucking show. I can talk about whatever I want. If you want to talk about whatever you want, you get a show. But be tactful about it, Be tactful. Be conscious of your surroundings. Be conscious of how people communicate. Be conscious of the ways people communicate, because 80% of communication is nonverbal. You have to look at people's nonverbal fucking cues and then go from there. That's in every aspect of life, be it business, your romantic life, whatever. So be tactful in that. Know who you're dealing with. Know how to communicate with people. Learn how to listen to understand and not listen to respond. Now, we're going to take another quick song break. And we're going to be right back with more Aaron Explains the Universe right after this.
Let me tell you that I saw your boyfriend walking down the street. He was standing all shaky, hands all sweaty, and he could hardly speak. I might as well take a minute or two to put you onto some game. You got a boy like him, a man like me, and that's just not the same. And never mind an SMS, what you need is a sweet caress. Everybody wanna talk too much, but what you need is a special touch. Ooh girl, wouldn't that feel right? A little dinner with a candlelight. And really when it comes down to it, pick a man that's down to fight. I'll give him bona fide loving. Oh, oh, oh. The type that makes me feel old. I'll give him bona fide loving. Oh, oh, oh. The type that makes me feel old. minute or two to talk about the perks. Cause you can't compete with a man like me, and that's just how